Hi everybody, that's Allie.
And that is Dash,
Welcome to our playdate.
where we choose a game, sometimes make up our own rules, and play for a while.
Enjoy listening and playing along.
Or don't. We can't hear you. It's a podcast. All right.
Blood sugar doing good?
Yep. We're hanging in there. We're doing okay.
I think the coffee is really helping with my voice. Like, it's not as bad as it was this morning.
Yeah, your voice was like...
Hey. Hey, baby.
Actually, yesterday it was worse.
Really? Was it worse yesterday?
It was worse yesterday, and
Okay.
then I feel like this morning you slept on it.
Yeah.
Warm liquids help.
Yeah, warm liquids. All I had was cold liquids yesterday.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
Can't do that.
I can't do that. And I really have to get used to right before we perform to drink something hot.
Dash, you have to care for your instrument.
I do.
You have to care for.
We didn't even warm up our vocals. We didn't do anything.
I just love it when people refer to their voice as their instrument.
It's so pretentious.
It's so good. I love it. All right. Hey, you
Yeah.
want to stop at Kennedy Space Center, Orlando?
Ooh, yeah.
I actually kind of do.
Like right now?
No,
But
maybe
at some
another
point.
time.
I think we need to plan next time we do one of these road trips. I think we need to take time, right? Like plot out so that we can do the Circus graveyard,
Yeah.
the Kennedy Space Center, like hit all the little touristy spots on
Yeah.
the way up.
No, I would love to go to Kennedy Space Center.
Yeah.
Center.
Sienna.
The center. Kennedy Space Center. I don't know where that weird accent's coming from. But hey, do you want to do a podcast
Let's do a
episode?
podcast while we're on the road.
Instead of planning our next road trip? All right.
Hi.
Hey, everybody. Today we're going to do, this is a game called Trivial Timelines. Boom. There it is. It is a mini family game. This was a gift. Actually, Dash, you gave myself and everyone else in Society Circus Players a
Yep.
little game as a gift, I think, last Christmas.
Uh-huh.
And this is very cute, very tiny little box.
Yeah.
Again, throw it in a purse, a pocket, and
And they were like $1, so I grabbed
yeah.
I grabbed every version of the game. Multiple copies of and I just threw them in a bag and was, hey, these are the stocking stuffers for everybody.
Yeah.
Just was gonna give them a game at random.
Yeah, and this one is, there's 3 items on a timeline, and we have to figure out which one happened first, which one happened second, and which one happened third.
Okay. Do we get 1 point for each one whose position we get correctly?
Sure, but I'm
Okay.
gonna have to do the thing where I pull
Oh, I see.
from the back, because it has
That has the answer on the
the
bottom.
answer at the bottom.
Okay.
Yeah. All right.
And I can't read because I'm driving.
And you can read well,
Yes.
but
Not while
it is
driving.
unsafe for you to be reading clues at this moment because you are engaged in driving.
Fair.
Okay. So, trivial timelines. Dash, what was invented first?
Okay.
Sliced bread, automatic dishwasher, or electric toaster?
Okay.
Did we have this one last time?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I know we talked about Betty White, but I think that was something else.
No, I think it was this exact same question,
Yeah?
but we're going to do it again.
Okay. So I think it was
Betty White is older than sliced bread.
Betty White is older than sliced bread. So sliced bread.
But I think I feel like the toaster came before sliced
yes,
bread.
the toaster came before sliced bread because you could slice your own bread
Right.
and then put it in the toaster. So I'm going to say toaster, sliced bread,
Dishwasher. I agree with you.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep. Toaster 1909, bread 1928, dishwasher 1940.
Fantastic.
We did it. All right. Okay, which song was released first?
Uh-oh.
Bohemian Rhapsody, Hey Jude, Macarena. I think it was Hey Jude.
Hey Jude,
Bohemian Rhapsody, Macarena. Let's see. Yep, Hey Jude, 1968. Bohemian Rhapsody, 1975. Macarena, 1993.
Wow.
Ancient.
Oh my God.
I am ancient.
And weddings were never the same again.
And didn't we just find out from some other trivia game that like Bohemian Rhapsody was actually on the Billboard countdown at 3 different points? So like in 1975 and then again in 1993 because of Wayne's World, and then again when the Queen movie came out in like 2000.
Yes.
When was that?
2000.
Like 2018, 17, 16, something like that.
It was like no, it was
Was it before that?
I think
2012?
it was post pandemic.
I don't think so. I saw it on an airplane. Pre-pandemic, I think.
Okay. Maybe I saw it post pandemic. That's what it was.
Well, when you saw it and when it came out are 2 different things.
Right, correct. Yeah.
Okay. All right, here we go. What was invented first? Motion pictures, the periodic table, or frozen food?
Ooh.
I feel like this is tricky because, first of all, the periodic table wasn't invented. It was discovered. And people are still searching for new elements.
Right.
So maybe things were organized in a periodic table, but certain elements weren't found until significantly later.
Right. But I guess the idea of making a table to contain all the elements in one place was probably what they're referring to.
Okay, maybe.
All right, so I'm going to say, what was the other thing?
Motion pictures, periodic table, frozen food.
All right.
I feel like frozen food was the 50s.
Yeah, but motion pictures were probably before that.
Motion pictures were before then. Movies and talkies.
Yeah. Okay, so
movies,
frozen foods, periodic table.
You think?
I mean, I'm shooting in the dark. I don't really know. I don't have a good guess here. I'm
gonna say movies, periodic table, frozen food. Okay, so we differ on this one. Let's see. Periodic table was first.
Oh wow! So we both got it
in
wrong.
1869.
Nice.
Then motion pictures in 1895. Then frozen food in 1924. Frozen food.
Oh wow!
Before sliced bread, there was frozen food. Were they just freezing a whole loaf?
I wonder if, like, what do they refer to as frozen food? Because I was thinking a TV microwave dinner.
That's exactly what I was thinking too. But
or
maybe it was like frozen fish.
You could freeze fish and sell it in the store. Or freeze orange juice concentrate.
Yeah, no, I was definitely thinking like TV dinner.
Right.
But I'm wondering if it's really like, here are 6 pieces of fish and they are frozen. Here is 6 hamburgers and they are frozen.
Right.
Like not a meal, but actual frozen food. Okay.
And you used to be able to, it came in a little aluminum tray, so you used to just peel it back and toss it in.
Probably not aluminum if you put it in the microwave.
No, the original frozen foods. Like the original TV dinners were before microwaves.
Oh.
So you would put them in your oven to cook for a certain amount of time.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, even like if you buy a kid cuisine nowadays, it gives you microwave instructions and the conventional oven instructions, even though nobody in their right mind would want to spend an hour cooking that tiny kid cuisine meal for a child.
God bless this highly nutritional microwavable meal and the people who sold it on sale. Amen. Okay. Order of Great Depression events. I don't know. I really don't know that much about the Great Depression, except it was bad.
Yeah.
Okay, so what is the order of these Great Depression events? The Wall Street crash. So that was in 1929. That I know.
I feel like that's what kicked off the Great Depression.
Yes. President Roosevelt is elected. So that must have happened either right before or right after, because presidential elections happen in even years. Mm-hmm. So it was either 28 or 30.
Okay.
Food riots and banks collapse. Yikes. I didn't know there were food riots. Yikes.
So again, Wall Street crash happened to kick off the Great Depression, and then the banks failed.
Banks probably.
And then Roosevelt gets elected.
And
I don't feel like Roosevelt would have been the president that they blamed for the Great Depression, because we wouldn't remember him as fondly as we do.
Well, and he was also president.
Hold on.
Wait,
I'm about to use my Disney knowledge.
Wasn't he?
He was
president during World War I?
Probably.
which was before the Great Depression.
Was it?
Yeah. World War One was 1917.
Hmm.
I mean, we got into it in
Yeah.
1917.
Well, okay. So
Wasn't he president during World War One?
in the movie Newsies,
Yeah. I'm already with you.
yeah, he was mayor of New York in that movie.
That was 1902.
Right. And then became president.
I have seen Newsies many times.
Yes, same.
Okay, so honestly, I feel like Roosevelt first.
Really? Okay.
I do. I feel like Roosevelt first, then Wall Street, then food riots and bank.
Okay.
How do we feel?
All right.
Do you want to?
No, I'll go
Do
with
it
I'll go with
different?
that. I'll go with that.
Ooh, yikes! I was wrong. Okay, so it was Wall Street crash.
Yeah.
Food riots and bank collapse. He was elected in 1932.
See, you convinced me to
He
go
was
against
elected
my
in 1932. Oh, wait a minute. Am I confusing my Roosevelts?
Are you thinking
'Cause there were
Franklin Delano
two.
Roosevelt?
Well, there were two. There was
Mhm.
Teddy.
Teddy and Franklin D.
Teddy and Frankie D.
Yeah.
Was Teddy president during World War One?
I don't see. That's the thing. I don't think
Him
he
and
was.
his
Him
Rough
and his
Riders,
Rough Riders?
and the Spanish American War. You know, he was like
Yeah.
he was a hot president. Up
With
there
that
on that
mustache
horse,
and the
that
glasses.
mustache, those tiny little circle glasses, that hat,
Getting shot and finishing his speech.
just riding around being like, I'm a Rough Rider, baby. Yeah.
My fellow Americans, one day they will name a prophylactic after my men.
Is that a thing?
Yeah, there's a
Oh. Okay.
there's a brand called Rough Rider.
Okay, great. There's a few things called Rough Riders.
Mm-hmm.
It's great. It's a great name.
It is a great
It's
name.
it's a great name.
Yep.
All right. We got to get back on like Teddy would want us to do. We got to get back on the horse. Okay.
With a sword.
With a sword and a hat and a fantastic mustache. What was invented first? Hearing aids, air conditioning, or penicillin?
Mm.
Again, I feel like penicillin wasn't invented, it was discovered,
Yeah.
but sure. Maybe they mean like patent.
Hearing aid. Now, are we talking about electronic hearing aids or
Or
that horn
the horn
thing?
that goes in your ear.
Yeah.
I
'Cause
feel
if
like
that's
it
the case,
means
the horn.
electronic hearing aids.
Okay.
Like the ones that we're more
Yeah.
familiar with, like that
Right.
fits behind your ear.
But those, when they were first invented, were essentially just like a little box with a microphone in it that would play to a thing in your ear.
Yeah.
So it was like a radio you carried with you.
So like
uh,
20s.
Yeah, probably.
I feel like penicillin was before that.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because it was the mold on the bread.
It was the mold on the bread.
And
yeah.
he was just like, what is this? And then they were like, oh, I licked the bread and now I'm cured. Yay. That's how it happened.
That's exactly how it happened.
Shh.
Don't look it up.
Don't
That's exactly how
look
it happened.
it up. That's exactly how it happened. Someone was like, oh, I don't feel good. And then he was like, here, eat this moldy bread. And the kid was like, oh, I'm better.
My cough is
Yay.
gone.
My cough's gone.
I no longer have the polio.
It's cured my scurvy. And then air conditioning is the most recent, I think.
Okay. I'll give you that. Yeah. Because also people up north don't need air conditioning. So it wasn't until we started settling in the southern areas.
Yeah, but even then, I feel like it was invented in like the 60s.
Was it invented here?
What do you mean here?
Like here in America? Because we're also thinking like that the air conditioner was an invention. But could it have been invented like in Cuba? Because it's really hot there.
Sure, but I think air conditioning started with like ice boxes.
Oh, that's fair. Yeah. Like an
people-
ice box and a fan.
Yeah. Which doesn't mean it was necessarily an American invention. I'm just saying I feel like that's what it came from.
Sure.
Okay, so penicillin, hearing aids, air conditioning? Is that what we think?
Yeah, I could go with that.
Okay. Wow. Nope.
Hearing aids,
Nope.
air conditioning.
Air conditioning 1902.
Oh wow.
Newsies out here with air conditioning, Dash.
Yeah. Wow.
Hearing aids 1923. We had that. I said the 20s. And then penicillin 1928.
Hmm.
Wow. Y'all out here relaxing in air conditioning for a solid 26 years before you could even have penicillin.
And that's when it was
Wow.
discovered, not when it was used as a medication.
That's crazy. I really thought penicillin was the 1800s. Or were they just curing things with
Leeches?
cocaine and leeches at that point? Opium, cocaine, and leeches.
Yep.
I've got 3 things for you,
And
ma'am.
moving to Maine.
Yeah. I've got 3 things you can try. Here's some cocaine.
Yeah.
If that doesn't work, try this opium. If that doesn't work, we'll throw leeches on you.
Yeah.
And then if that doesn't work, just move. That's what I've got.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, you're a woman? Go to a mental institution. That's what you get.
Right, you're hysterical.
Great. That's also not working? Okay. I don't have anything for you.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy. That's crazy. I have such a warped view of like...
Well, I think that's what this game is supposed to
Right.
expose.
Sure. Oh, here you go. Evolution of Apple products. You know this one.
Sure, yeah.
iPod, Macintosh, iPhone. Mac, iPod, iPhone,
Yeah,
right?
correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you want to know
Macintosh
that? Do you want to
first.
guess the years? Macintosh.
Macintosh was in the 70s,
No.
50s,
84.
84. Okay.
Then the iPod.
Then the iPod, yeah.
What
and then
year?
the
Do you wanna
the
guess?
iPod was 2000?
2001.
2001.
And then the iPhone. The first iPhone.
First iPhone was in 2000 and it was either 3 or 5.
7.
Okay.
According to these cards, which
Yeah.
again, we have not verified. But I think mini family games. Hopefully. All right. Which animals went extinct first?
Oh.
The West African black rhinoceros, the dodo bird, or the Bali tiger?
So Dodo Bird.
I agree, because they ate them, right? They were just like
I think they
friendly
were
and
just
big
dumb.
and meaty.
Yeah.
No, I don't think they were dumb. I think they were friendly and big and meaty, and people were just like, yum yum
Yeah.
yum.
And then the Bali tiger, because I'm pretty sure that we have actual footage of a Bali tiger.
Okay.
And then
The black rhinoceros.
The black rhinoceros.
Because I feel like I heard of
Yeah.
that in my lifetime.
Yeah.
I've heard of it going extinct.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah. 1660. Dodos were extinct by 1662. Crap.
Wow.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Bali tiger, 1937. So yeah, if we had recording
Yeah.
equipment, we would have footage of that.
Mm-hmm.
What's the difference between a Bali tiger and a regular tiger?
Dance moves.
Oh, okay. And the West African black rhino in 2011. Yeah, so in our lifetime.
In our lifetime. Yeah.
Yeah.
That made the news.
Yeah.
And I think it was functionally extinct. Like there was the only one, like there was just a female.
Yeah.
Or there
What
were
do
just
you-
like 2 females, no males.
It's basically like we're just waiting for
Yeah. Once these
the
2,
ones that
yeah.
we have to die.
Uh-huh. Which I think is where the white rhino is now too.
Aw.
I think the white rhino only has a couple of males, but no more females.
Uh-oh.
I just think we should get the female black rhinos together with the male white rhinos, and just
make gray
we have a gray
rhinos.
rhino. Yeah.
Yeah, let's get into it.
Mm-hmm. Has anybody ever tried mating an elephant with a rhino?
Elorhino.
no, you get an
Elephino.
elephino.
That would be a terrifying creature.
It would be terrible. Can you imagine
Like a
something?
tusk. It has the trunk and a tusk
Mhm.
coming out.
Yeah.
Like it can wrap you. It can wrap around you and, then flip
gore
you
you.
up and impale you.
Uh-huh.
That's good. Listen, we've got to write that in a movie. That's good.
Yeah.
That's a good creature.
TM.
TM. That's our thing. We're gonna do it. And then after it impales you, it just flicks you off with its giant ear,
Yeah.
and you're just thud.
Like that's the next Jurassic Park movie. Is that they were just like, we're done with dinosaurs.
We're
Now
done with
just gonna
dinosaurs.
make-
Now we're just crossbreeding stuff and seeing how it goes.
Mhm.
It's worked out so well in every other Jurassic Park movie that we're going to just keep sciencing about it
Yep.
and thinking, you know what? It's going to work out this time.
Mhm.
It's going to work out this time. What else would be wild? Like,
Crossbreeds.
yeah.
We've already mixed lions and tigers. We know what that looks like.
Yeah. Oh my.
What if we mixed a moose with a giraffe? And it's just a
Just a giant
brown
just a long
giraffe
headed. Although could
with
it
giant antlers.
right, but would that would that neck be able to hold up those giant antlers?
The giraffe necks are pretty strong. They fight with them.
That's true.
Like, they just whack each other with their necks, and they're fine.
Can you imagine?
Uh-huh.
Just dude rolls up to you and he steps to you and you just like attack him with your neck. And you're just like grappling necks.
Uh-huh.
That's wild.
That's wild.
That's
It's a
absolutely
wild
wild.
concept. Yeah.
And then at the end you just like lick your sweat with your giant purple tongue. Just lick it off your face. Insane. Okay. Technology timeline. Xbox 360, iTunes, Safari. Safari came before iTunes.
Yes. So Safari, iTunes, Xbox 360.
Xbox 360 after iTunes?
Mm-hmm. iTunes came out with the iPod. The 360 didn't come out till way later.
Okay, so iTunes 2001,
Mhm.
Safari 2003.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
What did
iTunes came before Safari?
what did they use before Safari?
I don't know.
Internet Explorer. Maybe they just had Internet Explorer.
And then Xbox in 2005.
Yeah.
So iTunes came before Safari.
I guess so. You know what? It does kind of make sense.
Why?
Because Mac didn't really get into the so Macintosh was the computer and the operating system. They really didn't get into the application game until way later. So they didn't start making their own applications until they were, hey, we've got this operating system that's pretty awesome. Let's make some apps that are meant to work really well on this operating system instead of adjusting our operating system to work with other people's apps. And then iTunes was meant to work with the iPod, so that's why that came first.
Sure. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I guess that makes sense. And then iTunes kind of was an app, so they were like, well, we invented an app, so I guess we better do more apps.
Yeah.
Okay. Here's an interesting one. Timeline of religions.
Ooh.
Judaism, Islam, Christianity.
Yes.
Yeah, I feel like that's the order, right?
Or was Islam first?
That's what I'm saying. Judaism came first. Then I feel like it was...
No. Judaism, Christianity, Islam.
You think?
Yes, because so Islam is Muhammad, right? Praise be unto him.
Yes.
Okay. So Christianity, all right. So in Judaism, it stops at the birth of Jesus.
Yes.
It's essentially what the Christians call the Old Testament.
Yes.
Then Christianity happens. Islam is the story of Muhammad and the prophets that came after him, which is after Jesus. Because in Islam, Jesus is just another prophet. Right.
But I don't think that necessarily means that Islam is younger. Because I think they could have evolved around at the same time.
Sure.
Like, Jesus is walking around and some people are like, oh, this dude's the Messiah. And other people are like, no, this dude's a prophet.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Okay. But wouldn't the birth, or rather the advent of Muhammad be what sparks Islam? And where it breaks off from Christianity? Therefore creating its new religion? Because before Muhammad, it was just essentially the prophets of Abraham and I think Moses is one of them, and then Abraham, Moses, Jesus were the prophets that came before Muhammad.
Right. Yeah.
I'm not talking like I know. It's just I'm a student of all religions, and the problem is that they all sort of blend
it's
together.
in the order that it is on the card. You think it's Christianity before Islam?
Yes.
Okay, so let's find out.
Yeah.
You were right. Islam is 7th century CE and Christianity is 1st century CE.
Yeah.
And then Judaism is 600 BC.
Yeah.
Yeah. Judaism's old.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I knew it was the oldest one, but I don't know why. I guess
it's the
what
oldest
you
of
were
the
saying makes
monotheistic
sense.
monotheistic religions?
Abrahamic.
Abrahamic.
They are also monotheistic.
Yes, monotheistic. There.
But they're also all Abrahamic.
Yes, because they spurned from the God of Abraham.
Yes. Okay, couple more. I am learning.
Uh-huh.
I'm going to forget this all, but I'm learning. Okay.
Yeah.
First 3 NASA space missions were, and it says specifically these are the end dates
Okay.
that we're going to see.
Of these space missions. Okay.
The first 3 space missions. So which one was first, which one was second, which one was third, and this is by end dates. The Gemini 4 spacewalk, the Apollo program, or Project Mercury.
I don't remember what Project Mercury was.
I feel like maybe it was Project Mercury, spacewalk, and then Apollo.
Okay. Maybe.
Because maybe Project Mercury was just like, let's go into space.
Sure.
And then they were like, okay, we went into space. Now let's go walk on the moon.
Okay.
And then they did that, and they were like, let's do all the Apollo missions.
Right. Well,
Apollo has to be the
Gemini spacewalk was just being outside of the.
It wasn't the moonwalk?
No.
Oh.
Those were the Apollo missions.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. So, but I'm pretty sure they had to test walking in space first before they could go out into the moon.
Can we go to space? Turns out, yes. Okay, great. Can we walk in space? Good luck, guys. Oh, wait. Turns out, yes. But where are they walking? Oh, like outside
the ship. Yeah.
And then moon.
Right.
Okay, so we said Mercury, spacewalk, Apollo.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. Yep. Mercury 1963, spacewalk 1966, Apollo program 1972.
There you go.
But wasn't the moon landing in
69?
69?
Yeah, what does it say there?
It doesn't say moon landing anywhere.
Hmm.
Apollo was 1972. Well, I guess if it ended in 72, maybe it was happening in 69.
Well, yes, because there were several Apollo missions. Remember,
Right,
Apollo 13
yeah.
came after, and that
I
was a
remember.
disaster. Yeah.
I remember Apollo 13, but they all came home.
Yeah.
Man, space is scary.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Because everything about it is scary.
Well, I was
Getting to being there and coming back are all horrific.
I was talking about it with somebody, and I was like, would you ever, like, if you were offered the opportunity, would you go? And they were like, yes. And I was like, I absolutely would not. I am completely terrified. I'm completely terrified of it. Mm-hmm. Do I think it would be cool to see Earth and, like, get that perspective of, like, oh, actually, we're nothing?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Do I want to go through the steps and the terror it would take to get that payoff? Absolutely not. I also don't want to poop in space, ever. I don't ever want to poop in space. No, thank you. No, I thank you.
Or get stuck up there like the 2 astronauts.
I cannot think about it. I cannot. It is so unbelievably terrifying to me. One of the most terrifying things I can even fathom on this earth is there was the Challenger and then there was the Columbia. Mm-hmm. The Challenger exploded. The Columbia left.
Yeah.
Did the whole mission. Mm-hmm. Came back and just fully disintegrated for like 5 hours. And nobody survived. No. And it was just like devolving and disintegrating bit by bit for 5 hours.
Was it really that long?
It was a long time. You can go on, it might have been like 2 hours, but you can go on like Wikipedia and see like the literal timeline of like, started coming back to Earth. This is the first thing that happened, second thing that happened, third thing, and the entire timeline.
Oh, that's horrible.
What a horrific nightmare.
Yeah.
What
really
an absolutely horrific nightmare. We started watching a docuseries about it. After the first episode, I was like, I cannot watch this. Like, I can watch some of the most horrific stuff that has ever been done to human beings and be fine. I could not handle watching this show.
Wow.
I could not handle it. I don't know what that says about me as a person
Yeah.
I'm not sure it needs to be explored, but I'm telling you,
Yeah.
terrifying.
Oof.
Okay. Periods of musical history:
Okay.
Renaissance, classical, Baroque. No idea.
No idea. No clue.
No clue.
This is music. Because
Periods
it's also
of music.
paintings.
Yes. They did music, they did paintings, they did culture, you know,
Yeah.
it's a whole thing.
Uh,
I feel like it was like classical, Renaissance, Baroque, maybe.
sure. Your guess is as good as mine.
Right? Because I feel like classical is like ye olden times.
Right.
Like Greeks and crap. And then Renaissance is like
When
rediscovering.
Rediscovering, right.
And then maybe Baroque. I don't actually even know why it's called Baroque. I know there's architecture. But like maybe that came after the Renaissance. They were like, hey, we discovered all this stuff.
Yeah.
And we're like, cool, it's good vibes. And then Baroque was like, all right, fun.
Yeah.
Oop, nope, totally wrong. Renaissance, 14 to 1600. Then Baroque, 16 to 1750. And classical, 1750 to 1830.
Okay.
Okay, fun. I actually just watched do you ever watch those like Wired, or I think they're called tech support videos?
Yeah.
And they bring on an expert and then they get questions from the internet and the person like answers them. They just did one that was like the Renaissance, and the first question was like, what's the deal with Mona Lisa? She's like not even cute. She's not even pretty. Why is everyone obsessed with her? And I was like, I love that question.
Mm-hmm.
Also fair. Everyone is obsessed with her.
Because it was stolen.
Yes. But also, I guess the painting is like,
The painting is
good.
fine.
I've seen it. It's fine.
The girl with the pearl earring was a much better painting.
Vermeer,
I think so, yeah.
I think is Vermeer. Yeah. I don't know. There's just paintings I like better than Mona Lisa.
Yeah.
I'm not saying he's not talented. I couldn't paint the Mona Lisa. I'm
Right.
not trying to paint the Mona Lisa, but like I've seen it.
Right.
It's-
But it's only famous because it got stolen. That's really it.
Well, the Da Vinci was famous.
Yeah, well, yes, but I'm just saying, among his of all the paintings he's made, right, that were comparable or probably even better than Mona Lisa, the most popular one is the Mona Lisa because it was stolen and recovered,
Yeah.
and that made the news. So everyone was like, "We need to go see this painting," and then it just became a thing.
I mean, it's fine. If you can see it, it's fine.
Sure.
But it's fine. It's fine. It's a
fine.
painting.
It's fine.
She's fine.
It's fine.
It's
It's,
fine.
it's on
She's
an
fine.
8.5 sheet of letter paper. and
She's
then-
smiling. She's like, hey, what's up? It's fine. Okay. Trivial timelines. The American Revolution events.
Okay.
War breaks out in Concord,
Okay.
Virginia, I'm guessing.
Mhm.
America declares independence. 7 Years' War ends.
When was the 7 Years' War?
I don't know.
Does that have to do with the revolution?
Yeah, I don't know. It's been a long time since I took American history. That
Yeah.
I can tell you.
All right, I want to say war breaks out in Concord.
No, I feel like 7 Years' War, independence, then war breaks out in Concord.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because weren't they maybe like tangled up in the 7 Years' War in England? I'm just making this up, by the way.
Oh, the 7
and
Years' War,
then-
and that's when, yes.
Right? And then they were like depleted from that, and they were like, oh, thank God nothing's going on in the Americas. And then the American founding fathers were like, well, funny thing, guess what?
Yeah.
And then they declared independence, and then King George was like, what? What?
So here's okay.
And then the war breaks out.
Remind me again. The Declaration of Independence is what kicked off the revolution
Yes.
or finalized the revolution?
I think it kicked it off.
Okay. And then the Constitution was what was signed as like, hey,
Right. They
We're
were
all
like,
set.
well, we have a country now. I guess we better figure out
Yeah.
how to run it.
Yeah.
I guess.
Okay.
And only the 14 of us in this room know anything.
Yeah. All right. So you're saying Declaration of Independence.
No, I think 7 Years War.
7 Years War.
Then
Concord.
Declaration of
Declaration,
Independence,
then
then
Concord.
War in Concord.
All right. I'm gonna say, just shooting in the dark. I don't disagree with you.
I don't know. I really don't know.
I'm gonna say Concord,
Okay.
Declaration of Independence, 7 Years War.
Okay. Okay. Neither of us were right. So it was the 7 Years War ends in 1763.
Okay.
Then war breaks out in Concord in 1775. Then America declares independence in 1776.
Okay.
The 7 Years War was first, so I was right on that.
Okay.
Yeah, right? So I feel like it must have been England was like all tied up in the 7 Years War, and America's like, you guys, we can't do war yet. They're already doing war.
Yeah.
We can't do war. It's disrespectful. Oh, actually, it's all coming back. I think it was that King George was like, yo, we just finished this war. Y'all need to pay us some taxes.
Oh, right. Okay.
Because
And how's our troops?
because we just paid for this war, y'all. We just finished it. We need cash. And the American founding fathers were like, no. You don't even, right? No taxation without representation. So they were like, yeah, you can't take our taxes without letting us have a say in like what's going down. Like, can we send somebody? Can we send like an emissary? Can we send like a prime minister? Can we do something?
Can we send you
like,
Thomas Jefferson?
No. That's my Jonathan Groff.
Okay.
King George. No, you may not. And then they got pissed off. I don't know.
Threw some tea in a harbor.
They threw some tea. They spilled some tea. Different, but same.
Mm-hmm.
So then the Concord fighting in Concord must have been like England sent some people over to be like, just go over there and tell them to stop. Tell them to stop the war. And then they got mad and they said no. And then they declared independence.
Okay.
Right?
Sure. That sounds good to me. Again, don't look it up. Just
Don't
take
look
our
it
word
up.
as gospel.
Just don't look it up. Watch a drunk history about it. I'm sure there is one.
Yeah.
And it's probably accurate and also funny.
Yeah. Are we still going?
Oh, no. I think this has been a long episode. This is a long drive. And we have
Yeah, you're just trying to kill time on our drive. Is what
so
you're
many
doing.
more cards. So many more cards.
And so many more miles to go.
So many more miles to go. Miles to go before we sleep.
Yeah. So that was Trivial Timelines.
That was Trivial Timelines.
Which I picked up at Five Below. And they're constantly refreshing all that stuff. So if you're ever in the mood for games, their game section is fantastic. And it's not that expensive at all. So if you're looking for some quick game night stuff, just head over there.
Or a gift for a friend.
Or a gift for a friend.
Who loves a game night.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I love giving
we love
games.
Five Below.
Yeah. I
And
love
this
giving
is-
games as gifts.
The funny thing is this is ages 6+. Please tell me what 6-year-old is going to be able to describe the American Revolution.
Or the order of religions.
Or the order of religions. Or even what the periodic table is, let alone when it was discovered. Please let me know. If your 6-year-old can do that, great job.
Good for you. Yeah.
If you're a 6-year-old listening to this podcast who can do that, stop listening to this podcast and do so many other things with your life.
Yeah. So, yeah, once again, if you like what you've heard here, check out Society Circus Players on YouTube and Instagram. All the cool stuff happening there. We want to hear your game night stories, so send those in, and maybe we can read it on the podcast. Either send it to us at thesocietycircus@gmail.com, or just give us a DM right on our Instagram if it's a cool
Which
story.
is at Society Circus.
At Society Circus. We'll read it on the podcast and let us know if you want us to keep names anonymous or however you want to change the names. It's up to you. But we'd love to hear your game night stories. We'd love to hear good stories, bad stories, disaster stories, stuff you discovered, Cheese May, let us know if somebody's cheating on somebody else or
Yeah.
who's
Tell us-
dating who. And
Spill the tea on your game nights, everybody.
yeah, we want to hear your stories. Yeah, we're tired of hearing ourselves talk, which hopefully you're not, and you're still listening to this podcast.
We are also tired of driving, but we're gonna persevere, everybody.
Yeah.
So thanks for listening. We hope you're having a great day, no matter what you're doing, what day you're listening.
Yeah.
And you will see us next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for listening, everyone. Now we'd love to hear from you.
You can visit playdatepod.us to watch our videos,
Access our episode library,
find out more about our brand of quality, clean comedy.
and contact us with any questions or comments.
Improvisers love audience suggestions, so make sure you visit playdatepod.us.
And the podcast you just heard was a production of Society Circus Players.
If you like what you heard today, please rate, review, subscribe, and share it with a friend.
And finally, if life's a circus, we're the clowns!
How long do we have, though?
It says 2:37 arrival, and it is now 11:57.
Oh, okay.
So, 3 more hours.
Great.